We'll move on to some Cavaliers news now, though, because there's a little bit going on. Not a whole lot, but the Colin Sexton thing has not been resolved. It's pretty funny, but the most recent report, and this report has been suggested for a whole month, but it's coming out, and it's really funny because Kobe Altman is not changing his opinion. He doesn't care. He legitimately doesn't care. It is being said that the Cavaliers and Colin Sexton have had yet again new conversations about a new contract, but both sides remain very far apart from an agreement. This is being reported by Chris Fedor. Fedor also states that the Cavaliers have consistently offered a 3-year, $40 million deal and have not increased the money. Sexton wants closer to $20 million a year. So basically, the Cavaliers are offering about $13.3 million a year, and Sexton wants $20 million a year. Does Sexton remain a free agent till the end of time, or does this ever get resolved?
I'm going to be honest with you. The only way this is going to be resolved at this point is if he gets traded. And this is the reason why I say this, right? Speaking on Portland, speaking on the Fernie Simons. Fernie Simons has got, 120 million?
100
right?
million, I think.
Colin Sexton, and I know in his mind, he is probably like, I'm better than the Fernie Simons. I would have said he's better than Fernie Simons.
And he is. Yeah, you're right. He is.
And this is the first time he's ever gotten injured. First time, especially for this long, this is the first time Colin has ever gotten injured. And in the back of his mind, he's like, how is it that this player right here, who's the same position as I am, is getting more money than I am, and you're telling me you're making me take a pay cut? And he can argue that $100 million is already a pay cut for what he was doing for the Cavs before they was even kind of recognized. And this is where it's kind of ironic, because it's like a year ago, it was almost destined where Colin Sexton was going to get that extension, right? That was like Kobe Altman's gem. Like, this is the one he really believed in. And now after 1 year of players that, let's be honest, was not expected to make it this far. Like, we was literally one game away from making our first playoff without LeBron James. And now Kobe Altman has made the decision. Why would I pay you this type of money if I know I already got two players that's made the All-Stars, and Darius Garland and Jared Allen, and I can very well potentially either develop a star, because I got that much faith in my scouting reports, or I can trade for one. And shoot, to be honest, he might even be able to use Colin Sexton to get that player he wants. And don't get me wrong, a lot of teams would probably want Colin Sexton, but I think the only way out of this is if he gets traded, because I don't think Colin Sexton is going to take $13 million. It's preposterous. Like, you're talking about, if you're talking about 3 years, you're talking about almost a $40-50 million contract.
40 million, yeah.
So let's be like, when you got a Fernie Simons making 100, you got Buddy Hield.
What about Jalen Brunson? 26 million a year or so. He's probably sitting there looking like,
and he averaged 14 this season, or 15, give or take, right? And then, like, Buddy Hield making 120 million. Like, let's be honest, like, Colin Sexton, like, this is where some of these players is broken the market. And I see some general managers, Kobe Altman, is taking a stand, but from the player's perspective, you can kind of tell, like, that's his mindset. Like, you got players like Michael Porter Jr., 225.
Oh, no, Michael Porter Jr. is by far the worst contract, I think, probably in the NBA. He's got a guaranteed $220 million. He doesn't even play. The guy doesn't play. He had a terrible start to this year. Like, that guy was shockingly bad. And then he gets paid $40 million at the end of the day. And people talk shit about Ben Simmons' contract. And it's like, Ben Simmons, I know he's not really playing, But at the end of the day, neither is Michael Porter Jr. Is that guy playing? No.
Yeah.
At least when Ben Simmons plays, he actually does something. What does Michael? I don't get it. I don't know. My issue is as well is, yeah, I agree with you on that. Colin Sexton, he's a $17 million per year player, I think, give or take. But the ridiculous factor is that the market has been broken, and I think not just that is who values Colin Sexton in the league at the moment. What team does? Because you're talking about trading him. Who wants him? I don't know if anyone even wants Colin Sexton at this point. I feel like we would have heard a lot more about, and that's no disrespect to Colin Sexton. Like, I just feel like no one wants the guy. And the issue is like, I think what Kobe Altman will be doing is he's probably waiting for a team that was like us last season, who not a single person reported that we were interested in Lauri Markkanen. Then out of nowhere, I think Kobe Altman made the call like a day before he made the trade. So it took a day and a half for Kobe Altman to get Lauri Markkanen like that, right? I think he's hoping that there's a team out there who has never been interested in Colin Sexton, but has a change of heart and says, hold on, this dude might be too good to be leaving on the trade market. I might have to go and get him and then see what happens, all of this type of stuff. But what team? Who is going to be that team to go and get Kobe Altman? I don't know.
Could be San Antonio.
But we know they really, really want to tank. They really want to take. They want that Victor Wembanyama dude.
Yeah, I mean, you can technically do that with Colin.
That's what I've been saying. But
I'm going to say Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland did it with Colin. Yeah, I mean, Cleveland did it with Colin. So, I mean, he would have a team where he can technically develop. And, I mean, I don't think San Antonio has enough talent where Colin would even really be able to be competitive. So, I think they technically would want to do – I mean, they could do it. I mean, that's the only team that comes to mind. That's the only team who truly needs a guard right now. But that'll really be it.
I mean, the Jazz would be a cool one, but they have 19 guards right now that they need to trade. They're not making any progress with the Donovan Mitchell situation. None of that is happening at all. If you're the Knicks and you can't get Donovan Mitchell, wouldn't it be funny if they just say, screw it, we'll just settle for like Colin Sexton? So much cheaper. No, that's not going to happen, but I don't know. I just don't know what team that's out there. I mean, if you were the Lakers, if you were LeBron, you should be heavily trying to do something there. Because even though I don't think the Cavaliers would want THT at first and Kendrick Nunn at all, geez, you'd still try if you're the Lakers. But other than that, I literally can't think of any team.
Through the wastelands, through the